But who am I to judge? Like, you know, maybe get rid of it? Oh, well, I mean, we do still need to loot them, so, alright, fair enough. How people getting mad at us? Anyone chasing after us? I think we're good. Those boots actually look decent. Better than our current pair of boots, so yeah. Sure. Throw them on. That was not great there. 4 places to enhance our gear. I swear, everyone wants to join, what's it, Dessert? There's something over here. Plant-wise. Gridleaf. That's a name I have not seen much of. That might actually be one that we need for some things. There's a lot of enemies over here. That is another question mark. You are already shooting arrows at me. I actually would prefer figuring out what's going on over here in full, but apparently I don't have much in the way of choices at the moment because you're now firing arrows at innocent civilians. So where the heck are you? You have crazy range. Whoa. This is a large group. What the heck? Hannibal? Only level 3. Seemingly you guys are pretty weak. Hell, that's kind of sad. We let that guy hit us with a big windup. I was a little preoccupied with trying to set up the Yrden just to see if you're the chief. You were the chief. Okay, doesn't seem like this is a place where people will re-inhabit. We'll just loot the stuff. Crowns, sure. Sure. Okay. 2 crowns. Oh my goodness. We are rich. Confirmed. But the real thing, I think, gonna be in here. Cavalry boots. I think those are the boots that we keep on finding. Just that on occasion they're a higher level and therefore slightly better. New decoction might be worth a look. Other loot. Water. Crafting material. Not bad. See, I think we have checked all these guys and they, at this point, just have junk remaining. Okay, let's just pick up this little herb over here and be on our way. And it's an herb that we didn't really need, but so be it. Let's go back to talk to these people and pick up even more mushrooms. Going in the direction I think I'm going in. I'm not sure that I am. No, I am. Okay. Yeah, these people.
This be the witchman, freak of nature.
So, like, can I do this? It's not like those things are incredibly valuable anyway, so we don't really need to, but... However, you do have a tradesperson of some variety. And some loot here, somewhere. Eh? Okay. Oh, right, we had the bow people were over here. I was like, why? But there's some people, or some loot, all the way back here. That's fine. Okay. Who is the buyer and seller of goods? You.
What?
What do you have?
In stock.
In stock. Ooh. Surprisingly, pretty decent stuff. I was not expecting this. Not bad. Fairly expensive, at least for things that are not just shirts. But generally speaking, not bad. Those are X stat because they're too high of a level. We are close to level 9. So if any of the level 9 stuff looked amazing, could potentially pick that up a little bit preemptively. Those gloves are a pretty sizable upgrade. As are those. It seems like our gloves are maybe very out of date at this point. As for the crafting recipes, Lith would be helpful. I think we have seen several people selling us glyph diagrams, though, so I don't think that's exclusive to this guy. Are there any things we'd like to sell? Do you think we... Yeah, we have our old pair of boots we could get rid of for a little bit of coin. And other than that, we did pick up some seemingly decent swords. Oh, the Forgotten Brand sword. We picked it up, and then I forgot to check it. The slightest of damage upgrades. It's a steel sword. Critical hit damage bonus, critical hit chance, chance to stun. It does have 3 rune slots, I think. Especially if you consider that it has 68 durability at the moment, and I think our axe that we're using right now was around 80. Does mean that this guy should be better than our axe, especially if you were to use those runes. As for other things here, Dwarven Blade, that seems like that might be critical hit damage, huge boost. Absolutely huge. Is that reason enough to use this thing? I was gonna say I'm tempted to sell it. It's pretty valuable at 170. The normal damage is a fair bit lower than what our steel sword damage would typically be. Yes, you can repair it, but if you're gonna repair something, then this would still be higher damage. And this, I'm pretty sure is junk. Oh, this was the rare one. Not as junky as I was expecting, quite frankly. Also not worth that much, but let's sell that. This chest plate is worse than the one we're currently using. I don't remember picking it up, but apparently we did. Let's get rid of it. Make some room. Get some coins. Gotta expect some better stuff. Yeah, no, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm just not necessarily sure what, if anything, we ought to buy from this guy. So I wasn't necessarily anticipating that we were about to shell out a bunch of money.
So long.
And we did just get some pretty solid gear from the quest that we just completed. Mostly that. So I feel like we're not as desperate for gear upgrades as we were very recently. We're also very close to hitting level 9. So that would presumably mean that there will be a lot of gear that will be available to assume. I mean, you just saw how many of those items required level 9. So we're very close to being able to do a fair bit more. I think that is all the more reason for us to take a closer look at our map here and see what other question marks we can hit along the way. And yeah, if we continue going exactly where we're going, a couple more, and that could be enough for us to reach level 9. It might be close. But there's plenty more stuff for us to explore over here, it seems, so no shortage of options, thankfully. Anything over here? Whoa! I was about to say, what's the deal with this? And then, ow! I saw that there were about a bazillion red dots. Let's switch back to Gwen. It is a bandit camp. Where the heck did you come from? More cannibals? What is up with these cannibals? And they are weak, so not bad trying to fight them, but at the same time, they are quite numerous, and it's a little concerning. There are so many all over the place now. You'd think that somebody would hire a witcher to do something about this. Hold on. 2 for 1. We were talking a little bit about potentially swapping out the axe that we're using right now for that one of those swords we just picked up. Hold on. And that might be a good idea. Well, that's pleasant. Um, okay. Definitely will loot everything in here, and I think there's going to be a lot. This seems like a pretty big camp. Okay. Stuff over here as well. Does seem like... Ooh, it's probably a good crafting item there. Seems like we've taken care of all the enemies in here, so we should be safe now. I think. This camp is huge. Look at all the loot! Granted, some of this stuff, yeah, might not be great. Some low-level crafting items, but still.
The storm, damn it.
Spectre dust. I've not heard of that, I don't think. Maybe we've gotten it from some of the rates we've fought, but it sounds like that's also quite good. You... Just some water. Gotta stay hydrated, right? Okay, and then I don't think we looted all the people that we took down, and there's still... Ooh, that looks very good. As well as this. Hold on. Wait, there's more. We could buy upgrades, of course. However, we're picking up our fair share of crafting recipes here, which would suggest that we might be able to craft something in the gear upgrade front, or from an gear upgrade front. That might be more effective. And I think that's it in terms of looting chests. It's just a matter now of taking the little pocket change. Okay. Well, that's lovely. Yes, we can confirm they do, in fact, appear to be cannibals. You know, I was prepared to take your word for it. I think I've heard that the mugs are supposedly basically just entirely junk. There's not even much of a reason to pick them up. Yeah, well, it's just, I guess at this point it's mostly a matter of, would we rather buy stuff that we see in the shops directly, or do we think that we have better things that we can get if we were to craft? And I'm tempted to wait until we're level 9, because we are so close to reaching level 9, and it does seem like we'll see some better options once we get there. Let's see, like, whoa, there's another question mark right here. Wow. Okay. To our right as we're currently standing. Oh, like, how about this guy right here? I was about to say a nice warm welcome. They're quite literally everywhere. This place has a name. Suggests that this was once an actual town. Maybe if we take these bandits out, camera angle, if we take these bandits out, people might re-inhabit this area. Seems like it, because there's a fast travel point here as well. Maybe? No. There's an indicator here specifically. Kept all their loot in a hollowed out tree trunk. Sound strategy. Sound strategy. As for those people we just took out, they were so close to each other, those two groups of cannibals, that it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Cue the radio head. However, that part's still the same. Yeah. That part's not great. Okay, let's see. Can we pick these nice flowers? You know, there are some other flowers that are pickable. Theoretically, or maybe not. Apparently I made it up, although I think I see them here on the minimap, even though... here we go. Okay. more enemies? What kind this time? Those look like drowners. We are right next to the water, so I suppose that does make sense. Not necessarily sure if you have anything over here. They are pretty weak. So this shouldn't pose, ow, too much of a threat, he says, as he gets hit and actually takes a pretty significant amount of damage. Ow. Give me a second chance. Let me get the first hit. Well, that's pleasant. And I suppose you could make the case, under some circumstances, that because our weapons do have durability, and it does cost us something to repair them when we use them a lot, that it might even just not be worthwhile fighting any of the little guys, the drowners, the wolves, wild dogs. I mean, we've kind of started to apply that logic, the wolves and wild dogs, but I suppose drowners probably do fit that description as well. I wasn't necessarily sure in this instance if they were going to be guarding anything, so that's partially the reason why I continued to fight them. Well, let's go back to this little town for a second here. See if there's anything else, like loot, that we ought to know about. Is that everything there? It is. Ugh. Lovely. Everything is just fine and dandy in the cannibal camp. That's where, you know, I'm gonna send my kids one day. Camp Cannibal, right? I hear they have some really great summer camp programs. Now, can we go in this house? Because that does seem to be, yes, the location where the indicator is pointing most directly. Am I reading into that too much? I may be. But it seemed like, at least once in the past, yeah, that has been the indication of, ooh, the most valuable loot in a given area. Gauntlets. Draconoid, or Draconid oil. I assume that's oil that's effective against dragons. Sounds pretty darn useful. Or maybe not immediately. Don't exactly anticipate us taking on any dragons anytime in the near future, but eventually, it seems like the type of thing that we'd find very helpful. So, sure. Okay, let's take a quick look at inventory-wise. Oh, we did pick up some things. Not an upgrade for the armor, the chestplate, nor are the trousers an upgrade. Did get some crafting recipes, and we don't have anyone to craft with at the moment, so at the moment, it doesn't do us anything, but eventually, we may find that very helpful. Let's take another look at the map to see where we ought to go next, because there were many quest indicators here. Now, do we go for Defender of the Faith first? Or do we check out Baja California? I'm tempted to go down this little peninsula here. Would mean take a right, go down this path. I'm curious. Yeah, did curiosity kill the cat? Maybe. That has neither been confirmed nor denied. But we shall see. Okay. Something over here. It's just selling me. Probably the same deal over here as well. This does seem like a, or not, a marshland of some sort, and therefore I would expect for us to run into drowners of some variety. As for whether or not that will actually be the case, hidden treasure. Ooh. But it is well hidden, because I don't actually see it at the moment. Let's drop a quick save. Oh, and that is resume, not save. Where is it, though? Heard something over there. Probably over here. Is it guarded by something big, mean, and powerful? Yes, it has the question marks. We know what the question marks mean. Question marks mean this thing will absolutely demolish us in one hit. We've learned. I was saying it jokingly before. We'd find things in the range somewhere between 5 and 85. Well, that enemy right there, probably closer to 85. So we'll leave it alone for the time being. So I do believe that when you just can't even see the level of the enemy, that does mean that it is so far above your league that their power level is over 9,000. So just don't even try. It's not going to end well. Fireplace? Okay. Alright, now we've wandered a little bit here. So we've determined this one, not immediately at least. We are headed toward Defender of the Faith, and at this point I think that probably does make sense for us to just continue on this way. And we could go to this question mark now, but theoretically we will continue on south to get to the last spot for Defender of the Faith. I mean, granted, we probably... this would be doubling back a little bit, so yeah, maybe we should go there now. We'll be to the right. Down this path, it seems. Do a barrel roll! I don't think I can do a barrel roll when we're not in combat. Unfortunately. No. Alright, well, we found bandit camp. That has seemed to have been the theme here. More cannibals. Should have known. This one's gonna have... oh, I was expecting a bow. You were the one with the bow. More over here. Whoa! What the heck is that? That is not a bandit. That is seemingly a variety of drowner that is more powerful, presumably, than your normal drowners, because they are level 15, which is a little bit scary. That is probably a little bit out of our league. You know, based on the skull that is currently appearing above their head, would maybe be a bit of an indicator. We do have Quen on, at least right now, but we're gonna have to go a long period of time without getting hit to take these guys out, which is a bit concerning. Quen is about to run out. Put it back on. I would love if those guys would just, like, leave us alone for the time being, allow us to loot that location, and once we do upgrade gear, those guys probably would be defeatable. They're not totally out of our range. Right now, theoretically, if we played perfectly, we could probably take them out, but it would be tricky. How far away are you? I love get some of this good stuff. Ooh, okay, we probably should have gone over that stuff more slowly. I was gonna say we'll take a look at it after the fact, but it is, I think, still easier to see everything you're looting on that screen. Okay, like that. A little bit easier to tell, but there's definitely some good stuff there. I think crafting recipes. What was it? Some crafting items. Runes. Assuming. Yeah, that's one of those guys. Other than that, I think we mostly just have the small amount of crowns remaining on these guys, which is not going to be a real difference maker. Big thing was getting those chests. Yeah. So let's move on then. And now we can take a peek at what we got, more specifically. Was that the location on the map we were expecting to run into? Yes, it was. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Nothing here, so it looks like it was mostly in the alchemy / crafting side of things. Oh, we could craft a mutagen. Sure. I guess. Why not? Anything new here? Still the werewolf decoction. I'm gonna hold off until I take a more thorough look at if there is any other use for the werewolf mutagen, because at times it seems like there has been a couple of potential uses for those relatively rare mutagens. Can we see on this screen if there's anything specifically that's new? Is there a little star next to it? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing this, but it might just be that it was so much higher than our current level that I kind of ignored it for the time being. Okay. Yeah, I think when we next make our way into town of some variety and find ourselves with someone who can craft things, and hopefully find ourselves one level higher, and I think that will be a good thing for us to do, is see if we can find some decent, mostly armor upgrades, because we picked up some pretty good, maybe not amazing, but pretty good weapons. Can we cut across here?
Winds howling.
Seems like we can. It's a little hard to see. Is all. That sounds like an Endriga? Based on that sound effect, I'm pretty sure I can see an Endriga here. Yes, I definitely can. That looks like a big and spiky Endriga. Like, probably a nasty one. But I am curious. Doesn't sound like just any old random Endriga location. Oh no, this is what we're looking for, actually. Ah, okay. So, originally when we received this quest, let's take a look real quick at what the quest is. We've been talking about doing it for so long, but when we got the quest, it was quite literally just moving a little thing that had fallen over. And the woman was like, "Oh, it's so difficult, I don't think you should do it." Maybe, a little bit. And then I looked at the quest and saw it required level 10 for something that literally required that we press one button. And I was like, that seems odd. Geralt has a live and let live policy regarding the gods and their worshippers. If they don't bother him, he returns the favor. Sadly, not everyone follows this sage precept. A distraught woman in Velen informed him someone had been destroying the shrines that dot the region's roadsides. She begged him to repair the damage and, if possible, punish those responsible. Though he did not share the woman's devotion or outrage at this sacrilege, he decided to help all the same. So, I'm assuming that, the reason why this is actually a level 10 mission is because this is probably going to be a somewhat, or like roughly level 10 enemy here. That would be correct. Hey, Endriga Warrior! How goes it? Oh, that was a nifty move you got there. Gotta give you credit for that one. Here's your barrel roll speech. Something like that. Oh. It has a nifty little tail attack there, but it is no more. Not a ton of damage there. It does seem like it either has good armor, or, I mean, it is level 11, so it's not pushover. It is technically higher than us. Okay, we are here, and here is the fallen
Destroy
shrine.
this one too.
We'll put the sewing skills to good work eventually. We do need another person to help us craft them, though. We can't do it ourselves. 25 experience points for moving this thing upright. Okay. And honestly, having a fast travel location here, I think will be very helpful. Because this is further south than we've ever been at this point. Having a way to get down here more efficiently would be helpful, especially if we clear out all the other notable things in this area, or at least the majority of the other things in this area. so that we're not missing out on anything if we do end up speeding through here. Like on this occasion, we're gonna have a lot of ground to cover here on our way to this guy. We're going based exclusively off of the question marks that we see already on the map, and that would suggest that taking coastline over to the east would be the way to go. However, this is a big path right down the middle. There's gotta be something here. Maybe there's something here. And I would assume there's gotta be something on this long path. So, I don't know. I think maybe let's actually take this path, because I think it's going to be easy to see that we have not yet gone and targeted these question marks. It's not going to be as easy to tell after the fact if we have explored this area here. So I think we go that route deliberately for that reason. That means going... Oh, let's just see if there's anything else. Ooh, over here, perhaps. Some hunting gauntlets that I'm skeptical as to whether those will be an upgrade, but I suppose we can give them a quick look. Looks like they were not of any particularly high rarity or anything like that. Yeah, our current gloves aren't exactly good either, but neither are those ones we just picked up. Okay, so off we go. And, hold on. Death to bees. Any day now. ×4. Ooh, not bad. Okay. So I would expect, based on how we ran into a level 11 enemy when we went to the first shrine, that we will find an enemy of a similar difficulty this time around. Maybe even a little higher? I don't know. I would love if you would give me an herb other than celandine and white myrtle petals and pond fiber. Pretty sure that is one of those three right there. Oh! Yeah, that's definitely a dragon of some variety. Which is, you know, a little concerning, I suppose. Or griffin. Either way, one can assume that that is something that will absolutely obliterate us. Actually, it might be a griffin. Looking a little more griffin-like now. Let's take a look at whether this is something we technically know about or not. It would seem this is something that has not shown up on the map. And unless it's all the way over there, and it's a little bit hard to tell because it is obviously flying, but this seems like this might technically be an unexpected encounter. And since I do expect us to likely die here, let's check it out. But only after having saved. I think that's a griffin. I'm pretty sure that's a griffin. Hold on. We know things about griffins. We've fought griffins before. What do we know? Let's remind ourselves. Is it a beast? Apparently it's not a beast. Maybe it is a beast? The heck? We definitely know. Oh, here we go. Hybrids. It's a hybrid. So, grape shot, hybrid oil, and ard. Oh, knock it out of the air with ard. Okay. Also, wait, is there any other description that I should actually read about here that might be helpful? Once only found in the high mountains where they would hunt marmots and wild goats. When humans encroached on their lands, however, griffins soon discovered a new source of much more plentiful and easier caught prey: cows, sheep, and shepherds. Though still wary of main roads, although this one appears to be on the main road, and towns where folk with the means to hire a witcher are like to dwell, these half-eagle, half-wildcat creatures have gone from rarities to oft-encountered pests known throughout the northern realms. Especially hated are the subspecies known as royal griffins and archgriffins. Okay, so this one I think is probably going to be very high level, but let's see what we have here. Did I? Here we go. All right. Try shooting a crossbow bolt at it to see if we can get its attention. It is definitely a griffin, confirmed. Of what variety? I don't know. It looks pretty big, though. And the first griffin that we fought, and the only griffin we fought, was a boss. So I'd imagine this guy's pretty tough. Also hear wolves. A lot of them, but I'm not as concerned about that, because this guy is presumably much stronger. Oh yeah, this would be another one of those mysteries. That is also not what I wanted to do. Like, one hit and we're gonna die. And we don't have the stamina right now to use Gwen. Also, it is cutting us off cleverly. I actually kind of don't want to fight you. You win! You win! You win! I know that you win! You don't have to prove it. I just want to get the stamina back to at least put the Quen on, except... Oh, I'm running, that's why we're losing it. Okay, get it on, then run, and maybe call Roach. And ideally, flee. As you are about to try to kill us. Roach! Let's run! Go, Roach! Let's escape! Full speed ahead! Full speed ahead, Roach!